September the 8th, 2020. Shout out to our friends on the West Coast. You're looking at Washington, Oregon, and California in this particular satellite image. And California itself is having record forest fires. But guys, look at Oregon in the middle and Washington above that. All of this is blowing out to sea, and look at how much smoke is in the air. A volcano does not cover you like that. Check it out. And the wind is blowing from the right of this image to the left, blowing all of this out over the Pacific Ocean. Except when you get down into California. The winds have shifted there. Notice at the bottom of the screen. And they're pushing to the south. So a lot of cities and a lot of areas are dealing with a lot of smoke. If you had masks, this would be the logical time to use one. But again, record images. And some of these here in the Northern California area are very large. And let's look at a different satellite image. And notice here in Northern California, a sudden flare-up as we're getting into, it's 8:18 p.m. Central Time, so it's probably about 6:18 for you guys there in California. Again, the winds that are coming over the mountains are pushing, again, from in the Oregon area out to sea, but in the California area straight south towards Central and Southern California. Also in the far right of this, guys, just like we talked about in the weather update, you've got, if you'll type in and Google snow in Colorado and blizzards in Colorado, things like that, guys, and many other places, it looks like the dead of winter, not a month early for snow. I don't care where you're at. So it's been strange, but these high winds and this polar vortex that's dropping into the mountains has a lot to do with this outflow. So if you can see where the fires are, and you can see in this particular image how powerful some are becoming. And with the winds moving in this direction, just keep it in mind where you're at. Same thing in California. You see one small fire up in Washington. So this thing, it's breaking out all along these mountain ranges. A lot of these states, I don't know how much the politicians really care anymore, if you understand what I'm saying. Let's scan down into Southern California, guys. It's not as big a problem yet, but we know what these California and Southern California fires can do. Again, notice now you have a southerly wind in this direction. Top left corner is the large one that we're watching fire up in the image before this one. So just keep in mind where your smoke's going and where the flames are being pushed through these valleys and over these ridges. We're watching that, guys. We're watching the Atlantic too. Let me give you a quick update on that. Now, this is the 5-day forecast from the National Hurricane Center. First, disturbance number 1 is a 40% chance of formation in the next 5 days. This was updated about an hour and 21 minutes ago. It says a small area of low pressure is located about 450 miles southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. With minimum shower and thunderstorm activity, gradual development of the low is possible during the next 2 or 3 days. It could become a tropical depression while it continues to move slowly west northward toward the coast of South and North Carolina. Interest in these areas should monitor the progress of this disturbance. 48 hours, 30% chance. Past that, a 40% chance of development. Now, Paulette and Renee are both going to curve into the Atlantic unless the models are just completely off. And we've seen a lot of tug this year between one storm and the other. Again, these two that are tropical depressions, or tropical storms, 40 miles an hour and 65 miles an hour. Much more powerful, and satellite images indicate it. But they are already north of the Cabo Verde Islands, which you see right there. Now, this one that's coming off of Africa, 80% chance of formation within 5 days. But in the next couple of days, it's very low, 20% chance because of where it's moving to. Notice it does have a more southerly track towards the Caribbean than these two storms. Now, this is looking at the wide Atlantic as we see the sunset towards the west. And you can see that your front storm, Paulette, which is 65 miles an hour, is a very large and active region. Renee is behind it here, This is the storm that's set to come off the coast of Africa on the far right. Now here, pretty much off the coast of the Carolinas, is the low pressure system that they're watching. Now guys, if we go to this particular radar, it covers the entire U.S. pretty much. And here, in the right side, is the storm that has 40% chance of development that's coming up into the Carolinas. And you notice you're already getting some pretty good storms there, guys. I noticed as the president's plane flew into Carolinas today, there were some very dark clouds coming in the airport shortly after he landed, if anyone was watching that. Here you have this snowstorm, this bitter battle here of the vortexes. And here you can see the fires along in the California area. But again, yesterday the system here, guys, in the right of the screen center, had spun out from under the clouds. Remember that? And you could see the rotation very clearly. Right now it's starting to wrap itself in some clouds and storms. So just let's pay attention to that. Again, you're already getting some wet ground there and possibly some light flooding. You guys up in the central part of the U.S. through the Rockies and all, and other places, bitter winter already starting. I hope you get a break quickly. It's not quite time for this yet, but we're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.